castle garden inside the statue.
It's like I'm in an aquarium. I wonder if Reddy feels like this every day.
Sitting next to Raphael, I move my dress to make some space for Raphael.
It's okay. I can sit.
To avoid the nearby patrol of guards, Raphael and I hid inside a pedestal of the garden's central statue. As for how we figured it out, we owe it to Swanee, or rather, Ducky. Maybe being turned into a duck is the actual punishment.
Or maybe he's just a really smart swan.
Would a really smart swan know where to take us and reveal the secret door by moving a tile?
Maybe a lot of princes and princesses eloped and used the garden as a hiding place. And one of them found this secret chamber. Swanee saw it and slowly became like a guide of sorts.
You can add this to your fairy tale. But once we're out, how do you think the people in the castle will retell our story?
The story after we beat the game? A couple that received blessings from swans?
Maybe someone in the kingdom will build a statue of us, and on Azure Echo's day, couples will make a wish before it.
It's possible for them to say we stole the castle's treasures. We ran away to the beach and then drowned in the waves. And no one has seen us since. Then, in streets and alleys, people will whisper and continue the story, claiming they've seen people who resemble us. In some versions of this tale, we settle down in the mountains and pick mushrooms, or we build a house of seashells on the beach.
And at the exhibit of a renowned artist, someone will point at a painting of a swan and say, "I recognize these brushstrokes." Lost in our endless imagination, a light flickers in the darkness like a dying star. Raphael has somehow moved closer without me noticing, his warm breath touching my ear. With a sliver of light coming through the gap of the door, I see Raphael holding a swan brooch. He leans down and carefully pins it to my collar. Sleek and elegant, the swan's body is made up of pearls. Its eyes are inlaid with sapphires that are as blue as the deep sea.
I need to give you this brooch before I paint the swan.
Smoothing out my collar, he slightly leans back. He gazes at me and the accessory.
It suits you. Everything's been about treasure hunting and trials lately. Despite being together this whole time, we've only gotten a few moments of peace. It's probably not the best time to give you a gift, though I think it works in its own way.
My fingers brush over the brooch, its uneven surface proving the skill of the craftsman. When did you make this? And how come I wasn't aware of it?
It's not fun if you know everything beforehand.
Outside, the sound of moving guards slowly fades. Raphael and I exchange looks. We approach the door and hold our breaths to listen for any noise. After he makes sure there's no sign of movement, he nods at me. Afternoon sunlight shines down, and we squint at the same time. It takes a moment for my eyes to adjust. I take a step and accidentally bump into Raphael's stiff back. What's the matter? Looking over Raphael's shoulder, I see the king standing before us. He's smiling from ear to ear.
Did you two plan to meet in the garden after leaving your rooms? But based on the guards' reactions, that doesn't seem to be the case.
A wobbling carriage transports me to the castle's outskirts. I lean out the window to look behind me. The king stands on the castle wall, waving at me as the castle gates close. Catching a glimpse of the garden statue that Raphael and I hid in, I suddenly feel nostalgic. We still got caught in the end. After we thought the guards were gone, Raphael and I stepped out of the pedestal together, but we were caught by the king. Maybe it has to do with what Raphael said. His Majesty knew where we were because the princess and princesses who eloped hid themselves in that statue before. I didn't think it'd end like this. It's all because we broke the rules. You were right, I guess.
What is that supposed to mean? Please, I understood the trial's actual purpose.
Really? But judging by your reaction, it seems like you only understood it when the trial ended.
Did you two plan to meet in the garden after leaving your rooms? But based on the guards' reactions, that doesn't seem to be the case.
Seeing how embarrassed Raphael and I are, the king's smile widens. We...
You passed.
Huh? I look at Raphael, and he's also puzzled. Then understanding flashes in his eyes.
You wanted to see if we would break the rules.
The king gives out a hearty laugh. He taps our intertwined hands before turning around to walk to the castle.
You may leave hand in hand.
Feeling the carriage slowly turn, Raphael leans toward me. Once the carriage reaches its destination, the game will end.
Give me your hand.
Confused, I hold out my hand to Raphael. He takes my wrist and makes it so my palm faces up. What is it? He places his hand in mine.
We held hands the entire time we were in the garden. Why did we stop when we got in the carriage?
He intertwines his fingers with mine and tightly holds my hand.
Don't ever let go of me.
The gemstones on the swan brooch reflect the light and make Raphael's eyes sparkle.
I don't know what will happen in the future, but right now, I'm your treasure. You must hold on to me. I'm yours, forever and always.
Don't worry, I won't let anyone take away such an important treasure from me.